Hey, good day, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Just in case you're joining me for the very first time, I am the real Bryant Gibbs. Hey, hit the like button, subscribe, share, support. I was once the problem. Now what I'm seeking to do, how do I utilize my platform to become part of the solution? Hey, stopping these kids from picking up that brick and throwing it at the prison wall for absolutely nothing. Listen, today what I'm talking about is snitching. Everybody don't, you got people online now. They producing paperwork. They talking about who snitched, who didn't snitch. You know what? Which is very powerful because we came from a culture that is no snitching allowed. No snitching. Snitches get stitches. Okay? But what's going to happen? A lot of times people like to say what they will and what they won't do until the time comes. Sit back and think about it. Anybody can say, I'm not going to snitch. I'm not going to tell. But right now is, have any of y'all guys been facing the death penalty? Those that are out there facing the death penalty, and guess what you're going to do? Self-preservation going to kick in. If you have to snitch to stop yourself from getting the death penalty, what do you think you're going to do? You're going to snitch. If you have to snitch to stop yourself from getting 1,000,000,001 years in jail, what do you think people are going to do? People are going to snitch. And people like to say, oh man, I've been tested, I've been through this, I've been through that, and guess what? I stood up. Nah, did you really stood up? Because a lot of times people do not know what the hell goes on behind closed door. Like I tell people, pressure busts pipe. Imagine what it do to flesh and bone. So when you sit back and you look at it, everybody on the internet talking about snitching, talking about how many people snitching the YSL case. Gunner. Okay, right now is until you can't judge that man until you put your foot in that man's shoes. That man came from what lifestyle? Living like the lifestyle of rich and famous. All of a sudden he got hit with that YSL case. Hold up, wait a minute. I am down partially, but I'm not down all the way. I'm not down with all that other stuff that was going on. So once again, he got two choices. He could have remained strong and firm. And guess what happened? He would have got time. He would have got his boots rocked. And you got went away for 15, 20, 30 years? Was it worth it? Then you got people talking about the T.I. situation. Boozy denouncing T.I., talking about T.I. snitch or whatever. T.I. saying it's fake or whatever. Folks, listen, it's not about that. Like I tell you right now is when you look at people, when they get in certain predicament, they get in certain situation, nobody going to say what they will do until that time comes. Because you like to say right now is, guess what? I won't tell until that time comes. Look at my situation. When I caught the case, I had murders. Okay, I done killed witness. But right now was, what? Once the situation happened with me, and me and my co-defendant, we talking about it. When I made a proposition, why don't we let everybody go against us? This is mine. This is a 24-year-old telling Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols, who was 29 at the time. I'm telling him, listen, let everybody else go against us. They want you. They want Pappy. They want me. And they want the Chinese Connect. Let everybody else go against us, and we be that human sacrifice. Cat told me, nah, you go to trial first, and let's see what they got against you, then I go to trial. Nah, I had to make a decision. And that decision right now was, guess what? I love me some me. I'm not going to wind up with life, you know what I'm saying, period, and get squeezed, and then you turn around and make a deal. It's not going to happen. So once again, like I told you, I didn't thought in a million years that I would have made a deal. I did. I snitched. I cooperate. So once again, like I say, anybody that want to come on my platform and say, Glaze is it, it's in my book. Get the Beyond Lucky book, the Brian Glaze Gibbs story, true story of crack money, murder. It's in there. It speaks about everything in there. So once again, you sit back and you think about it. People like to say what they will do and what they won't do. I'm standing tall. That's full of it. How do we get these kids don't put themselves in a predicament? Guys, don't go out there committing crime. Guys, don't go out there, even if you commit a crime, running your mouth to anybody else. Yeah, everybody want to talk about Terrance Gangster Williams. Leave that man alone. Like I said right now, guess what? Let he or she, without sin, cast the first stone. Like I told you, I met Terrance. Terrance, like right now, shout out to him, natural good guy. I don't know what he did or what he didn't do, and it doesn't make no difference. You know what? Because let he or she who have not sinned cast the first stone. What he's doing now, I'm not speaking about what he's doing back then. Okay, he was a monster when he back then. Now he's trying to save the children. Now he's trying to help the at-risk kids, making sure that they don't become a Terrance Gangster Williams. Then you're talking about right now was T.I. Okay, right now was, guess what? T.I. is T.I. He did the same thing like Gunna. But besides that, before there was Gunna, before there was T.I., before there was Bryant Glaze Gibbs, Lorenzo Fat Cat Niggas, Alpo, before there was any of that, you had Nicky Barnes, you had Gaspipe, Anthony Casso, you had Samuel Bull, you had so many other Preacher. Nobody in the world would think of Preacher. Out of all the stuff that Preacher did in his life, would Preacher cooperate? Nah, Preacher won't cooperate. Preacher a gangster. But once so happened, what he did, he wound up making a deal. But he lied to them, and they ripped up the plea agreement. A lot of people like to say what they will and what they will not do. But what we have to do as a whole, as a community, as a group, how do we get these young people to understand crime doesn't pay? Don't put yourself in that predicament. If you go to school, get an education, get a job, go to the military, build a career, then you do not have to worry about snitching. So it's not the point about people snitching. It's how do we put people in the position to not to snitch. And the only way you're not going to snitch if you're doing it right the first time. So right now, I challenge each and every blogger that's out there, each and all you guys that got these fancy YouTube platforms, let's get together and let's start. How do we stop these kids from stop snitching by not doing crime in the first place, by not going out there thinking they tough, by not going out there robbing, stealing, selling drugs, or using no PPP fraud? Folks, how do we do that? That's what we need to do. Come up with an action plan to prevent these kids from going backwards in the beginning. And we want to get over here and gossip, and we want to get up here and talk about everything. Let's talk about something positive. How do we put preventive measurement in place now that can save these kids, man? Because guess what? People are going to be people. Like I told you before, our time, who you had? The mafia, the mob set it off first. They set up the snitching shit first. But once again, okay, another thing, I was listening to Charleston White. You got women out there, got these guys coming home from jail, look like professional bodybuilders. And you know what they're doing? Right now is they let these guys move in. And these guys molesting, raping their little daughters or their boys, their sons. But once again, you know what? We got that no snitching culture. So nobody can't say nothing. So you out your damn mind. If that woman is not going to blow that man's head off for violating her kids, then guess what? She's supposed to go to law enforcement. But no, we as a community, especially the black community, it's no snitching. It's a time for everything, folks. Kill that nonsense. Get it right the first time. Like I tell you right now, I was once the problem. Now what I'm seeking to do, be part of the solution. Hit the like button, subscribe, share, support. And like I tell you right now, Wiz, guess what? No, snitches are not good. But don't put yourself in a predicament to become a snitch. One love.